Welcome to Style Meets Sustainability, the podcast where fashion ethics and conscious living come together. I am Arpitha, and today we are diving deep into a topic close to both of our hearts: upcycling with purpose. We are joined by the incredibly inspiring Meenakshi Sharma, founder of Useme Works, a woman led upcycling brand that's been quietly revolutionizing how we look at waste since 2011. From transforming textile scraps into beautiful lifestyle products to empowering women with no prior work experience, Meenakshi's journey is proof that small steps create big change. Hi, Meenakshi. Welcome to Style Meets Sustainability. How is your day today?
Very good. Hi, Arpitha. Thank you so much for having me here.
It's a pleasure.
Lovely day. Under the tree, it's always better.
So let's jump into our questions today.
Sure.
So what inspired you to start Useme Works in 2011, especially at a time when upcycling wasn't part of the conversation?
So I think the brain in me back then was like, oh, nobody's doing. All the more reasons to do it. And I think my only driving force was that I wanted to do something that brings me joy. I wanted to find meaning in work. I think these were the things
that's lovely.
For me.
In 2011 is like long ago. At that stage, at that year, I would never think about all these things because this awareness of sustainability and all came for me a little later. So 2011 is like just after your college, right?
Right. 2011, I graduated. I studied at Pearl Academy. I was pursuing undergrad in fashion merchandising and production. And 2011 is when I finished. And it started in the last year of my college itself, while we were doing our summer internships and we were taken to these factories. One fine day, we were there, some part of the factory, and there was a huge pile of good stuff lying on the floor, like huge pile. And the person in me, the crafter in me, who is always so much attracted to colors and trims and little cute things, was very curious that why is it just lying on the floor? And that's when the whole conversation started. When they said that it's all discard, we are going to throw it. These are the remaining things, and we don't want it. And then I just asked, can I take them? And they were, yeah, we don't care, just take, do whatever. And that was the beginning, where I started making little things out of those waste materials. There were a lot of trims back then, so I used to make
what kind of things?
There were a lot of zippers, and I made those zipper pouches. I don't know if you would have
pencil pouches,
zipper pouches, but entirely made out of zippers. No fabric at all, right? You must have seen these are sold at many places. So that is what I created. And I was enjoying it, and then I told my faculty and everything that this is when they asked us to pick a project for dissertation. I was already studying how the material moves in the factory, so I asked them if I can do a project on upcycling dead stocks of the factory.
Oh, wow, lovely. When you were saying you picked up the fabric bits, I was remembering my thing. Like back in 2004 or sometime, I was just doing my internship. So there also there was all small bits of pieces.
The swatches
will go. So then I'm like, okay, can I take? But at that time, I took those and made tops for myself, or small bags for myself, those kind of things. I mixed them all together and made. But it was not upcycling, but I just wanted to use the fabric because it was very beautiful.
So you had those upcycling instincts. Tiny bits you saw, and your immediate your reflex was that let me make nice stuff out of it.
Something out of it. It's lovely to know that story. And you studied at Pearl Academy. How did that shape your understanding of design and sustainability?
So the very first instance that happened, if I wasn't at Pearl Academy and I wasn't so closely working in the industry and watching how the process works. And second thing was that when I talked about what I was noticing and the concept, the faculty was very open to the idea
Oh,
They supported me with all the material, resources. They guided me through it.
okay.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
So, yeah, I think that was the initial support that I needed and they gave me. And that accessibility into the factories, that was all provided by the college.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they not only did that, they also selected the project, one of the best projects of the year. They gave me more assurance that, this is making sense to the world. Yeah, it is a gap that I can work in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's really lovely. Because when I was in college, there was no such word at all. So we were just making collections on collections, different fabrics, varieties, whatever we have in mind, we were trying to create.
That's true.
This was a very good step for you.
Yes.
Good support.
And there was no talk of sustainability or that term even then. I had no introduction to it.
Okay.
The only thing that I was looking for is that there should be some alignment with the nature.
Okay.
And I was understanding the circularity. This much I understood, right? If something is good, it shouldn't be wasted. We all know that.
Yeah.
So I was just following my common sense. So that's it.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Having that common sense is also very important because there are so many people around, like designers, they don't even think that way. They just make it and leave the remainings just like that. Because this main garment or main product is the important part. The remainings are gone.
Maybe because I wasn't a designer.
Okay. So tell us about that.
Because I studied fashion merchandising and production. So it had more to do with production, product from scratch to the table. Design was tiny bit part of it.
Okay.
So we were learning bit of everything in it.
Okay.
So that's why I had time to look at the other arenas of the industry as well. Had I been just doing design, I would have gone deeper into that. I don't know what I would have done, really. But I was always curious to find the right way to work around things.
And that's needed. Actually. Coming to your work, your work is rooted in local community engagement. How did you build trust with the families and women you work with?
I'm still doing that actually.
Okay.
And this particular cluster that I'm working with, it's my 9th year with them.
Okay.
And it's actually a ghetto that I work with.
Okay.
So when we walked in, there was no culture of working, that women working, going outside the home. And so in the beginning, we had to go to their homes and provide them work.
Okay.
And these women do not come from a trained background. They've not completed their education. They're not trained. They're not even coming from any, heritage cluster where they already know those heritage crafts. So there were a lot of challenges in terms of their mobility in and outside the house. Secondly, if they don't come to the office, how are you going to even train them? So these were the challenges that we had.
Okay. So how did you manage that? Did you go to their places to teach them, or how did it work?
Yeah. That was the beginning thing, that it's okay if you can't come, I'll come. So I used to take materials and go to their places and doorstep service. And I will spend that time there. And people were nice. And all in all, they were not comfortable sending their women out.
What were the reasons you think?
The culture, of course, like I said, it's a ghetto. So I think the culture is,
women are not supposed to go out for work kind of mindset.
Yeah.
That's sad. But how did you break it? Now, okay, you were saying like 9 years you have been doing this. So, do they come out now? Initially, yes, I understand. You are a new person. You are coming up with a new idea to them. But how about now?
Much better it is after so many years. But I wouldn't say the situation has completely changed.
Okay.
But most of them, they come to the office and work all day.
Oh, wow.
And those who don't, they also come to the office and collect their work and go.
Okay.
So that much.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah, that much has been achieved.
That's amazing, because accepting new things, new people, new ideas is the difficult part.
It is.
And you have gone through that. Now they trust you, so they are coming to you.
Right.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And how are their families accepting all this new change?
Like I said, it has been a very slow change.
Okay.
So they have taken their share of time from the point that, work is not prioritized at all. Now, at least it is one of the things of discussion whenever there is a decision making, because they're also getting some share of money in the house. And when there is constant income which is coming in the home, then you can't ignore that. You have to tweak your life according to that, your belief system, and then that's how it is. So I think money helped, and also when women started coming out, so there is not just money that you get, there is a lot more that you are getting when you get out of the house. You start working, you feel independent, you meet other women, you're making friends, you're having some time off your daily routine, your kids, your family, something just by yourself you are doing. You build confidence, and you learn so many things. You got phone, you purchase phones, you now shop online, you have a bank account. There's so many little things that happen, and when all these things happen, it is both ways. For some families it can be intimidating, that they're going to lose control, or however, that she's also becoming a stronger voice. And at many homes we saw that they were happy because they had an extra hand. They were so independent and supporting to the whole family situations. So it was taken both ways.
There's a lot of change you are bringing through your idea and your work. That's really lovely. Can you walk us through your team structure and how it has evolved over the years?
Sure.
You said you have all women working in your team. So take us through how it works.
Sure. It's very simple. One is production team, where there are women dedicated to different kinds of products depending on their skill sets. And some in them would be, who would have leadership qualities. So then we would place them so that they can oversee others. So they become the supervisors. So that's how the production team is. And then there is the other person. There is another lady who looks into the operation and who knows how to use the laptop, talk to the clients. And even these women have learned that over the years, how to, simple thing is how to print, how to use and print a paper if something has to be dispatched, how to use basic way of laptop. So there is one production team, and then the operations, then it's me, then we have a social media team. So it's a very little team. My husband is also part of it, and he voluntarily works with us and guides, since he has a digital marketing background. So he also oversees and helps us in business development. And other than that, I think we outsource the finance thing. That's it. So that makes about some 22 of us.
That's a good team.
Good number.
It is.
So these women also now have, some of them also have started to go out for workshops, which wasn't the case earlier. Even for exhibitions, they are keen, at least within the city, if there is anything nearby, then they come.
Okay. As you were mentioning about exhibition, how do you manage? How much team do you take, and how do you do the basics for the exhibition?
Ask you that question. I have no idea how I've been managing, because I do it all by myself.
Okay. So you're the only one who's carrying, taking and everything?
Yeah, at least now, the ones that are happening out of the city, I'm managing it all by myself.
Okay.
And if I need, then I get local volunteer from that city. But from our team, since it's a small team, and the major chunk is still into the production, who do not have that kind of exposure and permission from their families to travel. So we are not able to have them in any of the things that happen outside the workshop. So that's I'm building that so that we can build a team for sales as well, which can travel. in future.
So do you have a physical store somewhere, or
No.
how do you operate?
We have a website.
Okay.
So it's called usemeworks.com. Useme is what the brand name is. I picked it up from the dustbin. It always says use me.
Yeah.
And I used it.
Yeah.
And usemeworks.com is our website, and social media pages and everything that is there. And other than that, we do pop-ups.
Okay.
Yeah.
And special any events or somewhere where you put up your stall kind of thing?
Yeah, we've been very regular with Dastakar.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like that place. I think I like the kind of intervention that they've done in the consumer market, where they focus on mindful shopping experience, bringing a lot of artisanal craft, handlooms and everything. There we blend in.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm still looking for more sustainable markets to actually build in the country, where we can just exclusively go as a sustainability dialogue. That's it. You know, no other thing fused in, just sustainability.
Yeah, that's needed.
Yeah, or just upcycling, like what happened with Ministry of Textile as a precursor event to Bharat Tex in Feb, which was the first upcycling event. There were 40 upcycling brands that were showcased. So that is the kind of markets that I would like to see in future.
Okay. Yeah, that is needed actually. How do you source your textile waste, and how do you decide what to transform it to be?
Well, there are many factors. Sourcing textile waste is we are focusing on post-production textile waste.
Okay.
Because we are not using post-consumer, because we always had a philosophy that your waste is your responsibility. Okay? So if I come to your stall, the audience that we are with, mostly they're like, why should I use someone else's, worn clothes?
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
So we also realize that, it's only going to make difficult when the understanding is still building among the audience. So we just stick to post production, which comes from the factories, clothing labels, export houses. Then there are many dumping areas also within the city. Wherever you are, you will find where all these export houses and everything, they send in their scraps.
Okay. And how do you decide which product to be made out of?
Well, over the years, when you have your portfolio building, you know what fabric suits for what kind of product. And that's how you pick. I personally really like to work on natural materials, fabrics, whether it's cotton, rayon, or silks. I personally, canvases, I like working on these. But however, we don't know what comes in when. So there has been always a mix. So it's either ways. Either we, decide a product and then accordingly pick a fabric, or once we have the fabric, then we decide that it will be most well suited for this kind of product.
Okay.
So it's vice versa.
Okay. Is that factory just giving whatever they have, or do you ask for, I want these kind of fabrics? If you are using these, give me those.
Both.
Okay, both.
So we also reach out to factories where we think we are going to get this kind of material, because we also have limited upcycling capacity. We cannot upcycle everything and anything. We can't even store. We have a very little place. So we also look for factories where they have materials as per our need.
Right. Okay.
And if sometime not, then we think through it. That okay, this kind of material now that's how we have come up with so many products that we are doing right now. But they don't entertain much. Unless the factories, like I said, they don't care about the, what is happening at the back end, or for the waste at least. Because their chunk of business comes from the production and the main product that they're doing. And this is just a clear out for them. So they are not going to put much attention to what we need, unless the founding team or someone, they're sustainability conscious, or they want to go zero waste, like many clothing brands do.
Okay.
So then those smaller brands where the things are mass produced, there they won't have time. And that was my understanding also when I started, that when it's mass produced, then it's very, very difficult to maintain the sustainability quotient. So it's better to produce a little. That's slow and that's mindful production is, what is better and more manageable as well.
Yeah, this kind of mindset should come to all the production houses and factories, basically the whole industry, because everybody do the mass production. That's where everything is falling wrong.
Yeah.
I personally feel that way.
Yeah.
Because so much production is happening and so many garments, so many products are out there, and the production house is not bothered where they are going, the waste, the remaining parts, and the consumer is also not bothered. Wherever they're getting new products, they're just taking.
Most of them don't even know, actually.
Yeah.
We don't get to see that side of the fashion industry, right?
Yeah. So, are you doing some awareness things for the customer to understand what you are trying to do?
Yeah. So one of our main verticals is workshops where we teach people. So while we started as a brand which was making and selling upcycled products, we realized that there is a huge gap of understanding among the people that what upcycling is and what is the need, why should we use upcycled products, and need for sustainable lifestyle and conscious consumerism. So we started these fun educational workshops, and these were for all age groups. And in these workshops, we curated in a manner that whosoever comes in gets an understanding about the concept, and they dig their hands into the material. So not just the theory, but they get a practical understanding and hands-on workshop where they there and then try to make something. So that gives them an immediate mental shift as well, that what they looked as waste an hour before has now changed into a beautiful product. It could be anything. It could be decor piece, it could be utility, it could be as simple as a bookmark, anything. A bag.
When they come to workshop, how do they decide what they want to make? Do you guide them? What happens there?
Yeah. So it's either ways. One can have a creative exploration if they want to. They can make. We keep it very open. We don't work on a super defined template that this is how it's going to be, because the idea is to make them spend time on the material, not to make them upcyclers. Yeah. When they're spending some time on it, their brain starts to churn in a very different manner, because this is not something that they've done before.
Correct.
Yeah. So that is when you start looking at the resources in a very different manner, that it could be something. Before I knew that it was waste, it could be something else also. So we don't want to skip from that part.
Okay.
So sometimes we guide, we show them that these are the products, we give them demo as well. Okay. And otherwise we let them lead.
Okay.
However,
so what I can visualize is you give the material, keep them there, and ask them to go through it and just pick and do whatever they like to do.
Yes.
That's amazing, because it actually, as you were saying, it creates some kind of mindset to them.
Right. So many of the people, after attending our workshops, they months later, weeks later, come back to us and tell, oh, see, this thing what I used to throw earlier, now I don't. Now I do this. Now I do that. Or if I don't do anything, I give it to someone else, because I still see potential in this product. It has still not reached the end of its life. I don't want to throw it. So and people will only understand that when they experience it. So these were a great add-on as a brand, and also being a brand where sustainability is right now just emerging, especially in our country. We can't limit ourselves just as a brand who that is making and selling. We have to work on the sensitizing part as well. For us and overall for the industry, I feel that this is important. And why not?
Yeah, that's very important. Because according to me also, what I do through my videos and podcasts, I am trying to give them the awareness.
Right.
And you are also doing that. It's a great need right now. You have educated over 20,000 individuals through workshops. What does an impactful upcycling workshop look like for you?
Like I said, where people are exploring, and the impactful is that you maybe timed it for an hour, but now it's been 3 hours and they're not ready to leave it. And and you have to see the excitement that is, that you see on their faces. The joy is, I think, the thing that makes it successful, where they experience the transition and they do it themselves. That brings in a different kind of joy and understanding. So I think for me, that's a successful workshop.
Yeah. How do you manage that 1 hour going to 3 hours? Because I've also experienced that in my workshops as well. So we give it like half an hour, 1 hour, we just go with it.
Yeah.
But later they still want to do. I made this. I want to make one more thing.
Yes,
they are excited.
yes.
So how do you manage? Because you might be having some other arrangements, some other things to do later.
I usually keep a buffer because I know this might happen. So I never time it like that. However, if there is anything that I have to, I just ask them, take the material and continue working. So I just ask them, take whatever you need and continue. Now you know what to do.
What kind of mindset shifts do you see in participants during your sessions, especially those new to the concept of sustainable living? You already mentioned that they understand the fact that it's not a waste, you can still use. Is there anything else which you see through this workshop?
See, the craft base, in the beginning when they come, they're very stranger to the concept. And they might not even immediately start with the craft. They might just say, yeah, my colleague is doing it. Yeah, my friend is doing it. She is making for me. And then, as I always talk, I always say that upcycling is a very powerful tool. When you see it happening in front of you, as a human, as the evolution has been, we've always worked with hands. We are attracted to it while we are doing, and we've gotten away with the whole urbanization and the digitization. We've gotten away with the whole act of working with hands. So when they are there on that table, they don't even realize when they start with it. And when I ask them, are you going to make? No. And then sometime I know. They will start something, and they're like, going, yeah. And now they are totally engrossed into the activity. So that's what upcycling does to you. You don't even know when it will grab you.
Yeah.
True.
Do men also participate in this?
Big time.
Amazing.
Big time. I've had such diverse workshops where age is no bar, gender no bar, profession no bar. Yeah, when I talk to the professional, the corporate workshops that we do, many of them say, our employees are never interested in these things. They're all older. They will not do it. And they would be so surprised when the workshop happens that the oldest one would be the most enthusiastic one, and they would be so surprised. They're clicking photos, they're experimenting the materials, changing, and so much fun. I love the workshop part, and it is so interactive, and it gives us a chance to come and be with the audience in real, and helps us to connect better. For us also, understanding everything has been evolving ever since. For us also, we are learning each day.
For my workshop, I've seen men very rarely, because I generally try to tell them upcycling only, but some small accessories or something I make them do. So men are hesitant. They're like, okay, let me see, okay, needle and thread, they're a little hesitant. But I'm happy to listen to that everybody comes there. It's really needed. Like, everybody should be part of all these. And I believe in, like, everybody should know how to basic sewing.
Absolutely. It's a life skill, I feel.
It should be there. So it's nice. And do you use needle and thread and everything in your...
We do that.
And what else are there? How
just the regular materials, fabric trims, threads, fabric, buttons, ropes, anything, any craft material, just the regular. It's just that we don't buy it. We take the waste. So there's a lot of variety in the materials. Yeah,
that's nice. What are some of the biggest environmental issues caused by the fashion industry that people often overlook?
See, all these figures one can just simply Google. Internet is flooded. Like 92.7 million tons of textile waste generated every year, and then using the 10% of the fresh water just for textiles and dyeing. And there's so many things. Basically, there is so much degradation that is happening at each and every level, not just the resources, but at the human level as well. There is so much exploitation, under wages, inappropriate age groups, working conditions. There is so much, and just in the name of fashion. Fashion is what? Maybe when it came in, it had a significance. It was introduced to have an individual personality, but that is not happening anymore. We all look the same. Yeah. We all wear the same. Yeah. Mass-produced clothing, right? Yeah. So for me, fashion has completely lost that sense now. And what people, I think, are not able to realize is that they're not able to see what is happening at the, behind the curtain. When the Rana Plaza incident happened, that was, I think, 2011. But that was the eye-opener for the world. When the whole fashion revolution also started after that. Before that, we didn't even know what these big brands that we are so fascinated with are actually coming from. When people come to us and then they say that, oh, this is so expensive. And I always ask them one thing, that have you ever questioned if something was very cheap? Did you ever? Yeah. Why is it so cheap? It's not about the money in the pocket always. It is also about the environmental cost and the quality of life that we have compromised with. We might save some, but we will end up spending it later on our health, on our medicines and air purifiers, and we're doing it already, no? So I always ask them that if something is made in China, Taiwan, thread is coming from Nigeria, however, and now being sold at this table in Delhi or wherever, how do you think it is coming so cheap? When one t-shirt is taking 2,800 liters of water and we buy one drinking bottle for $20, how do you think that is coming so cheap? So these are the things I think consumers overlook. They think this is not their problem. But they're not realizing this is very much our problem only. We are only dealing with it.
How do you think grassroots brands like yours can help address textile waste at scale?
See, I think most things are going wrong when things are scaled up. That is where we are not able to control much. And I don't think I'm ready to answer that question, because I personally feel that, small scale is what is more needed. But however, to fix the demands of the ever-growing country, I feel that little changes can be done where you get the value system right, not always profit over people. Give profit and people equal or some importance. So to find a balance there, I feel fixing the critical points of the things, like picking the right material, setting the right working conditions, appropriate salaries for the people who are the real makers. In one of my concerts, it's a very big brand, and they held a workshop, and I was there, and I love that brand, and it was their main karigar who was conducting that workshop. And this brand sells its products for 50,000, 1 lakh or so, one piece, single piece, and it's beautiful.
What are these products?
Clothing, garments. And in my conversation, when I asked him that how long have you been doing it and all that, and what does your family do, and then he said, okay, I don't want my child to do this. Why? I don't want my boy to do this. He's not going to do this.
Okay.
Why? For the reason, because this industry is not good. I don't earn much.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, and he is such a skilled karigar, imagine. And that craft, we are slowly losing because they're not getting their fair share. And I was almost in tears, because such a beautiful karigar, such a talented, skilled karigar, and he spent all his life into making this brand. And that brand must be doing great, but the karigar is not feeling the same about it.
That's sad.
That's such a big disconnect for me.
Yeah.
So next generation, they're not going to do that.
These karigars also, they don't know how to deal with these brands. They just know, you give me work, I do the work.
So because they don't know. Anyways, they're not trained to do that. They don't understand business. They don't understand outside. They don't understand retail. So all they know is this. They know how to work with their hands. So they need that support, na? They need that support. So, and that was not the experience for him. So I felt bad that this is a big disconnect.
And basically it's exploitation.
It is.
Completely.
It is
sad.
Yeah, it is very sad, no?
That's how we are losing these kind of beautiful craftsmen. Because their next generation is not going to come into this.
Yeah.
And we have lost. And India has such beautiful
Heritage crafts.
Yeah.
We are losing it already. There's so many restoration and conservation projects that are going on to restore. Probably last few crafters are left, and our last village is left to do that. There's so many such crafts, and India is such a rich heritage craft country, and which we are all losing because of this.
That's very wrong.
And the funny part is that these are all expensive. They're sold. People buy also. But makers are not getting it.
And some years ago, I was doing a documentary on kalamkari. It's hand painting kalamkari. So that family, their kids, two of them, they go to engineering. They go to different profession. So I also asked them why. Because they're like, it doesn't feed them. It takes long to do all this, and there is so much demand from the consumer. They can't give these things immediately as per the consumer's demand. So they're losing the client.
Yeah.
They can't make much money from this.
Right.
But they're still doing because they love it. Only that generation. I think the next generation won't get into it. I really doubt that.
Yeah.
That's very sad.
Exactly.
Okay, what challenges have you faced in aligning creativity with sustainability?
None, actually.
And that's nice to know.
Yeah. I mean, the only challenge we would have faced was from the audience point of view, where they always were comparing our products with the mainstream products, I feel. And we've worked on it, and I think that's legit. When someone is buying, they should definitely get a good quality, aesthetic product. And I think that's a fair ask. And while working on it, whatever we had worked on was that what our people knew. Because काम तो इसी cluster के साथ करना है. I'm not going to hire those skilled artisans who already have plenty of places and a party to go to. काम तो इन्हीं के साथ करना है. And I always, whenever I pick a product, so I always have these 3 ticks. So A, it should be upcycling textile waste. B, it should be generating employment for the women. C, it should be helping the final consumer replace some kind of plastic or minimize some kind of waste in their lives. So these are the essential ticks. If I get all 3, brilliant, Eureka. If I don't, then 2 out of 3 is at least the minimum ask that I look for. Ye to ho kam se kam. Yeah.
Okay.
So these things. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think so. Because you have your own system of working, which is actually helping you without any, the struggles. That's good. I remember you saying you use post-production material and you don't use post-consumer material. So you also mentioned that client won't prefer using those post-consumer.
Someone else's old clothes.
So why do you think that happens? Because I am also working in that area, and I am trying to tell people that your clothes in the wardrobe can become something else which you can again wear. So that's where I am coming from. So why do you think people have that kind of mindset?
they are okay reusing their old clothes. We do that.
Okay.
So when you come to us with your old clothes, we'll make things and give you. We do several. We have a huge catalog for that.
Okay.
For people who are coming to us who are into sustainable lifestyle, and there are different situations in life. Sometimes it's a memory keepsake for your loved one, or memory quilts for your children who've just grown out their old clothes. So we do all that. The only sometimes the problem what they face is that they don't want to use clothes that are worn by other people, and that could be because of hygiene. Some people have this, it carries energy. I don't know. I've heard,
I also heard,
it's like carries energy from other people and all that. So then we did not touch that area. It is okay. We anyways have so much waste.
Yeah,
it is okay. I'm only interested in upcycling, whether it is yours or coming from factory or however or wherever it is. I'll work on that.
Okay.
Some way I want upcycling to enter into their lives. That's it.
Okay. So you chose your best way possible to reach them. Yeah, that's nice. And it's just a thought going on in my head. Like there are these second-hand clothes brands nowadays. There are so many, and there are people who are encouraging everybody to buy second-hand, take second-hand clothes, take hand-me-downs from everybody. I personally do all that. I don't buy second-hand because I don't need. I just take hand-me-downs and all, swapping.
Yeah.
So in that area, when we tell people to do all that, I don't understand what is the problem in making a product and using it, because your products are generally the decorative items and gift items, those kind of things, right? So it should be more convenient for them to take it. What do you think?
I think it depends on what society you're catering to. So we are right now in Delhi.
Yeah.
And of course, since we are online, so we are operational pan-India. But the direct interaction that we have it is in Delhi. And there, the sense of sustainability and the need of it is still building.
Okay.
So we are going very slow with it.
We cannot push things on them.
And also, since we are making decorations and all now, we also need bright colors.
Yes.
We also need really bright colors. So, however, that is also not a problem. People don't even use clothes enough these days anymore. They just throw it out after a third or fourth cycle. That's it.
Yeah.
3-4 washes and they're done, because they have new things to wear and they don't even use it to the fullest. So many times we get old clothes which we use, and we have started looking at the change that earlier there used to be very, very old and worn out clothes. Now that's not the case anymore. We get such branded new clothes. Half of my things come from that. I don't buy, I'm not a shopper, and I'm so comfortable wearing what is in good condition always. It doesn't matter. World is in abundance for me. You're also same. So it is like that, and we also respect that the society that we are in, it is like this for a reason. For many decades, they were sold a very different idea of commercial, consumerism and everything. And now, as the climate change and the global climate crisis are banging our door with the whole shift in weather, we are realizing that, our lifestyle is not supporting this. There is a disconnect. We don't have that balance. So we also want them to have that amount of time to understand and come to it.
Yeah, everybody has to go through their own journey and then understand.
Right.
But I was shocked to know that new kind of clothes come to you. And that's like, people are not even bothered. They're just leaving it and buying something new.
Yeah, because everything needs space to keep, right?
Yeah.
And you're buying so much, and living in cities, you don't have that amount of space. What are you going to do? And then the offers and the discounts and the sales, they grab you in. People also have, extra disposable income these days. They have so much. So what to do with it? they don't know what to do with that money. So
and
they
these
end up
brands are like colorful and they're just in front of them, like
they just
take this,
know
take that.
how to do that. I wish we knew
Yeah.
how to grab that attention, and we had those great selling skills.
Oh,
But
yeah.
however, I mean, so this is the scenario right now.
So how do you strike a balance between functionality and aesthetics when creating upcycled products?
Both of them are very important. Aesthetics are important for our clients, and functionality is important for both of us. And like I said, that there are 3 ticks that we always need. So one of them is that it should be able to help our end customer minimize their waste in the daily lifestyle, or help them live a plastic free life. So that is where our focus is, that how functional it is for them, so that it can be a utility based product for them. And since we are majorly working, we are trying to become part of the mainstream products. Aesthetic do matter a lot. And we also like to work on, we also like to create beautiful products. We want them to look attractive, colorful, vibrant, something that brings that happiness to the user. So we try to work on nicer fabrics, and lots of embroideries and techniques and fabric orientations that we introduce into the materials. That helps us to keep both the things on.
Okay. And this is been on my head since our talk started. So once you give some decorative items, for example, say birthday decorations, so you have given them, so they're supposed to use it for some years, because it's the same birthday boy or girl, or same bunting, same thing. So do they come back for some other products to you, and how do you tell them to use it for longer? Because you have to sell your product as well,
right?
But and at the same time you're telling them not to come for the same thing, because they can use for longer.
I know.
So how do you do that?
Yes. So yeah, I think that's contradictory being a brand, because as a brand you always are focusing towards selling more, and here we are telling them, see, you don't have to buy again.
Exactly.
So I think these are the ethos that we are building, because see, there are plenty of people out there. Even if you manage to sell them even once to everyone, you will do enough in a lifetime.
Yeah.
So yeah, but however, the concept, we've had repeat customers. What they do is, since we do these nice party decorations, birthday decorations for people who want to celebrate plastic free, so we give them that and we equip them fully. We've done proper videos and made our products very user friendly, how they can put things up. Very easy to handle as well. We've made those videos as well, where we teach them how you can increase the longevity of the product, how you can pack it, like preserve it better, and use it the next time. And the clients have also resonated with the concept, and they've also understood the usage properly. Most of them. And if next year, if many of people say that, okay, we can't use same thing again and again because our children, because if you see to it, from a birthday of a 3-year-old to a 60th anniversary, 60-year-old person, we use balloons. The only thing that we can think of as decor for birthday parties and all is just balloon. How much innovation have you seen there? Maybe change of color and all that, but it's balloons. So, and just for the joy of couple of hours, which I don't even think anybody notices after a while, is such a menace for so many, hundreds of years for the planet and nature and everything. So what's the point? And it's not even pocket friendly. You need to buy it again and again. There is no innovation there either. So these people understood that concept.
Okay. Do you give them awareness, like when some new customer comes to you, new to this concept, do you explain them what happens and how to?
Everything. We explain them. Even our website is made like that. And we have several journals and catalogs, and we do blogs as well.
So where we share our journey, the concept, and the people who've done that. So we talk about their eco-inspiration journeys as well. And most people, what they do is, when you do the decor yourself, these are all DIY. You also do these things creatively with your family. It also gives you a space where you want to do things yourself. So that also activates your creative brain. So you do it with your family, and next time when you have it, you see what you have, and then you top up. If you want something else, maybe, or you see a different arrangement, because the same thing can be put in so many other ways in so many locations. So you find these answers when you look into that direction, and when you open that mindset, then there you'll figure out ki, yeah, it is something that can be used multiple times in multiple ways as well.
You said these are all DIY. How does that work with your products? What do you
DIY as in as if they can put it up themselves.
like that?
Okay.
Huh.
These are ready things, ready to use.
Yeah.
But then you can decorate your rooms, your balcony, your garden, wherever you want to do yourself. If it is happening on a large scale, then our team can come and put it up.
Okay.
But for small affairs where you want to only host 10-15 people at home, then you can just do it yourself. You've made it and design it in a manner that you don't need anybody's help. These are good to, ready to use things.
Yeah. And I've seen some celebrities like Diya Mitra and all using your products. That's a great thing
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Yeah. So how do they think? Like celebrities have so much, like they can do whatever they want, wherever
That's
they
true.
want. But I follow Diya Mitra. I love her. So I've seen her like last I think 2 years. She's been doing this sustainable product, sustainable birthday party for her son.
Yeah.
So what do you think they have in their mind? And I strongly feel that celebrities should do these kind of things and show them to the world so everybody can follow. So what happens there? You worked with her like for her party. So what happens there? What is
No,
their
we didn't work
mindset?
with her. We didn't work with her. She just came as a regular customer. She came to the website, she purchased things, and that's it.
Okay.
That was our only interaction.
So, what do you think in general also? How should the celebrities think about it? So, I have not seen many people doing all this. I have seen one or two. The Amiza is one of that list. But do you think these celebrities should do it more so
Absolutely.
others?
I think whosoever has more visibility, if they can, why not?
Yeah.
Because there you will set an example, and celebrities are followed by masses. They do become inspiration for lifestyle and everything. So why not? If you're doing it, definitely, and it has. A lot of people actually came to us after the Mirza used it. So I think if they resonate with the concept, and which like she did, being a mother, being a young mother, she understood the concept and the need of it. I think that's how it is for all of us.
I've spoken to one movie costume designer. Like he's my senior, so we had a conversation. So he was also saying the same thing. When a big scale movie using handlooms or handmade crafts, then people who are watching will understand, they can relate to it. But if we make all the non-eco-friendly materials for all these big movies, then everybody thinks those are the correct ones. Those are the trending ones. So I think the people who have the reach, they should take responsibility.
Definitely, and setting the right trends if they can. I wouldn't say that it's they must do it. I mean, I think it's their choice. I don't want to burden them with being the masiha of doing the right thing. But however, if they do, they should know what is the impact of what they're doing and how far it can go. So why not do the right thing? And it brings joy for sure. When you celebrate, when you live in alignment with nature, it brings naturally so much joy and peace. So we all need that.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, what's next for Use Me Works? Any new directions or ideas you are exploring?
No,
Okay, so what's going on?
we
So
are not
you'll be
hustlers at all.
okay.
We believe at growing, in growing at a very slow pace.
Okay.
And the same exploration continues where we are working to upcycle. Every year we add on more into our portfolio, team size increases, and slowly the community that we are becoming part of and we are building, that is increasing, and that is the only agenda here. That just keep working on this path. New products might come in, might not. I mean that continues. That will be there. But we want to stick to our, the core ethos that it is about upcycling and bringing that good and having that alignment with the nature. We don't want to burden. That's lovely. Yeah.
So let's move on to our next segment called Snappy Seconds. Small question, single word answer. So that's how it goes. Are you ready?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go then.
Excited?
One item always in your bag.
Water bottle. Water bottle.
Okay, favorite fabric to upcycle.
I like cotton. Cotton, poplin, cambrics. I like that.
Okay. One word your team would use to describe you.
I don't know. I was not there when they used it for sure. But maybe I think they to me they always said, "Oh, Didi, you are so simple. Why do you not wear makeup? Why do you not wear jewelry and all that?"
Okay. The
Maybe
simple.
that. The simple.
Yeah. And most surprising product you have made from waste.
I think that would be installations where we made these big, massive Christmas trees.
I've seen
That was like a huge exploration with textile waste, and people also embracing having it instead of the conventional green plastic Christmas trees. And it wasn't even green. The first ones that we made was all multicolor, all colors bursting out.
Oh, wow.
They loved it, and I think that was a great exploration. I really
Okay.
liked it.
Oh, lovely. And mountains or beaches?
Well, that's a tough one. I think mountains, beaches, mountains. I don't know. Anywhere in nature, trees.
Okay.
I think it's tough to pick.
Yeah. Your biggest creative inspiration?
Well, there's so many. I think nature is will always be on top of the list. And there's so many people that I follow that give strength and support. People Baba is one who are selflessly doing that job of planting trees, and one friend of mine, Varun Khanna, who's running Delhi Nature Society and working on tree conservation. And regular inspirations, so just simple people doing their daily tasks. My husband is also very inspiring. So all of these things, people who are doing the right job at the right time and giving their 100% is just enough to inspire me for the day.
Yeah, super. One book or movie that changed your thinking.
There's this movie that I watched many years back. It was made on this guy called Jadav Payang.
Okay.
And the movie is called Forest Man.
Okay.
And it's a very simple movie about a man who has no professional training, never went to school, and how he grew an entire forest from scratch by himself in 20-25 years. He's still doing that. It's in Assam. It's in Majuli. So there's this river island, and that's where he did that. And there is a documentary on it, and that really changed the way I think. The movie had an impact on me. I really feel that everybody should watch that movie.
I will, because
Yeah.
I have not.
You would love it
seen
for sure. Jadav Payang, Forest Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will watch it next.
Yeah.
If not Useme works, what would you be doing today?
Definitely continuing to working with hands.
Okay.
If not craft, farming, I think is what I'm interested in. I might also do that later leg of my life.
Okay, that's lovely.
Yeah.
And 3 words to describe Useme works.
Useme Works is kind.
Okay.
And it's wholesome and joyful, I think, meaningful, purpose. These are the words I think will come to my mind when I think of Useme Works.
One sustainability myth you would love to bust.
That plastic is the problem behind everything which is going on our planet is, I think, a biggest myth for people right now.
Yeah.
It's not. When you go to a landfill, it's not just the plastic which is thrown. The biggest menace is done by the kitchen waste. The organic waste is doing more menace there. So I think it's the disconnect that we have gotten into with our resources, lost that touch with our roots, I think. It has more to do with the relation we share with the materials and with the world. Yeah, that's what I feel.
That's where our conversation ends today. Thank you
Sure.
so much for sharing your lovely journey with us. It's eye opening, and I've learned a lot from you, and I hope the audience also learned a lot. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for Arpitha for having me here and curating such nice questions and making that effort of documenting all of that and making it reach to people. It's very, very important. I hope more and more people reach your work.
Yeah, I'm hoping the same.
Yeah.
I'm doing my bit.
Yes,
So,
absolutely. I
thank
think
you.
that's what all that matters.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Meenakshi, for sharing your beautiful journey with us. It's not just about transforming waste, your work transforms lives. For those listening, I hope this conversation sparks a new way of thinking about waste, work, and women's empowerment. Don't forget to follow Style Meets Sustainability on your favorite platform and check out Useme Works to see upcycling in action. See you in the next one. Bye.